Hello, everyone, and welcome to Prevent-A-Thon Day 1. We are starting things off strong with Thursday, and we have a packed schedule. Oh, goodness, so many games already starting off on Day 1, including a lot of classics, a lot of retro, a lot of retro vibes, I should say, along with the retro. A good combination of a bunch of stuff. I can't do this kind of thing alone. I don't know every single game on the schedule, so I brought backup with me. I brought two people who actually know a little bit about these games, members of our beloved games committee. Dan, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Dan the VP.
And I also brought another friend called MASH.
Hello, I am MASH. I'm around places.
And you two were fantastic. You helped us pick these games and figure out what we're going to have on the schedule. I saw the submissions list and I did not envy y'all this time around. So why don't we get started with what are the highlights? What are some of the things you're really excited for this first day, kind of starting off the event? MASH, any thoughts?
Yeah, so we do have a really strong open contender. I think it was like the whole team. It was very rough to kind of go through things in the later half of the process. But Ape Escape 2 is going to be our first open and run with Reclet, who's doing any %. And if you don't know anything about Ape Escape, you're in for a wild, silly time catching little monkeys trying to do their monkey business. With various gadgets and platforming and action. And it's a pretty good hallmark early PlayStation, and specifically this being the PS2 version of the game, which is a sequel, which quintessentially made the DualShock such a prolific controller going forward. So very excited for this run, and if you know Recollect, you know you're in for a good time.
Yeah, I was happy to see this as the opener. It's just going to be really start the whole event off really strong with really fun and a really competitive time with this run as well.
I remember when it came out and just the whole concept of controlling the tools with your thumbsticks was so cool. Do you have any early standouts, Dan?
So the second game, we're going right down the list. Ooh came out, and it's already my game of the year. It's from a solo Japanese dev who previously released Elekhead. They have mastered the Metroid Brainia genre. It's just this crazy puzzle platformer that your upgrades are your knowledge, and it's fun watching it as a speed run because you kind of have to draw your own conclusions as to how the runner figured out all of these strats because you're not actually going to see the learning stage, so you can still go back and play the game and actually have those aha moments that this genre is really known for.
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, Lackhead, I've seen it quite a bit of. I didn't know anything about this game, so I'm very excited. Puzzle games are a bane of my existence and terrible at playing them, but I very much do enjoy watching them being played skillfully because it makes me feel great, but also sad that I am not that smart when it comes to puzzles. But it'll be a good time for sure.
Now, I know, Mash, you're interested in another PlayStation 1 era style game on the schedule for later after that.
Yeah, so Croc 2 was a big standout for me. I was very adamant about trying to see about getting this in. Croc 2 is just a game that you don't usually see in a lot of events. It's also a lesser known platformer that a lot of people don't see that has really incredible movement and tech and just great stuff that you might be familiar with if you've seen or played Spyro or Mario games for that matter, because a lot of that kind of movement options and design flow is very reminiscent of those games. So it'll be a great time about an average baby croc on an adventure through a bunch of various entertaining levels.
Then a little bit later in the marathon, we have a returning runner for us. Illegally Sam's been with us for quite a few games, and they're bringing us something that Dan's excited about.
Yeah, you might catch on to a theme here, but this is another solo dev game, Rebel Transmute, and it's coming out right after Metroid Zero Mission 2, and this is just a tiny little Metroid block because it's kind of like a foundational entry in this genre, and now like a modern kind of one person's take on how to kind of develop and adapt the genre as an indie dev. And it is 100% or maybe like 95% all movement. It like the run never stops, and like Sam is like I'm amazed at like all the rhythm game stuff that Sam does, and also that they're able to like really push these indie games and these kind of runs as they're able to.
Yeah, there's a reason we keep bringing Sam back, and it's because they're so fantastic. And then
I don't think I've ever seen a Sam run that I haven't enjoyed at this point, and like I've seen a lot from Sam. It is usually always something unique or different, so it's great.
So before chatting, before this this whole thing, we were chatting, and I find it hilarious that you were both excited for the first 2 games of the day, but also the last 2 games of the day. Mash, do you want to talk to us about Bloodstained?
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing Curse of the Moon, which is a spin-off or prequel to the main Bloodstained game that more people probably are familiar with, but it brings us back to like the 8-bit era for the Metroidvania-style games. And specifically, we're seeing the Ultimate mode with no out-of-bounds, because there is a lot of crazy like out-of-bounds movement and things like that. So we're going to see a more grounded, skillful playthrough of the game from Phil. And the main difference that I found out about Ultimate Mode is that it's the hardest difficulty, but you kind of start with your powered up at the start, so things start off a lot faster than they normally would. But it's going to be a great run if you like those kinds of games with the ability progression systems and things like that. So highly looking forward to this game and the last Metroidvania game that we do have on the day as well.
Yeah, and with Bloodstained, one thing to kind of watch out for, kind of here's a little insight, to run in that game is it's like a rhythm. There's not just a run button, so every time you land, Phil's going to have to repress the run button, and that only gives them an amount of run. And it's way more technically complex to really run the ultimate mode than it looks. So just be mindful of that at the end of the day. And after that, we've got Time Spinner, and a randomizer. So whether you're familiar with the game, whether it's like brand new to you, I think this is a really good game that like no matter how much you've seen it before, it's really easy to kind of understand the formula, and then the randomizer just adds another level to it, and it's a great way to end the day with Pumpkin Spice and Time Spinner.
Yeah, Pumpkin Spice is going to be is known for giving us a nice like enjoyable experience with their uplifting personality, but Time Spinners from what I know, sorry. But it's a very unique game. It has a couple mechanics that it makes great use of for the game. I haven't really played it myself yet, but it is one of those games that again, if you like Metroidvanias, we're all gonna very much enjoy.
All right, I know that game has a big following. Chatting with you two is a delight, but I'm sure the people watching us here are more excited about the runs than watching our beautiful faces. So I will let you all go, and we are so excited to have you here. I hope you enjoy your Prevent-A-Thon day weekend, the entire thing, and I will chat with you all tomorrow. Bye.
Sometimes really bad things happen. It's scary, and I can't escape. I always wished for a hero, and then I found you. The Be Brave Ranch is unlike anywhere on Earth. Full of people who care, who love unconditionally. Here my spark came back. I changed my pain into power. My story isn't just my story. It's the story of boys and girls everywhere. My story is our story. I'm a survivor, a warrior, and now I create change too.